professional serving community. talkradio.nyc.
Your guy, the one and only, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you 2 flights up from the attic where I just, no, 2 flights up from the kitchen in the attic, baby, in the attic. Cheeto's on the floor. I never have Cheeto the dog in the attic with me during a show. I don't know how that's going to go. That rhymes. Cheeto, be good, babe. So the show is Philanthropy and Focus. I am Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, and every week on Philanthropy in Focus, Phocus, if you're trying to do it and spell it, that's how you spell it. Every week on the show, I bring a leader of a nonprofit organization, I like to say, to help them tell their story and amplify their message. And today is no different. It's all about my relationships. It's all about my connections. And if it wasn't for my friend Mike Kelly, who I know through the Bayside Business Association, then I wouldn't know my new friend Danielle, who's here with me. Danielle, good morning. What's going on?
Good morning. How are you?
Rocking and rolling. We have another show I do. It's all about animals called the Professionals and Animal Lovers Show. It's how I got my guy Cheeto. So who is that sitting on your lap there?
This is George.
Up
George.
George.
This is George.
Hello, Dad.
Yeah. He is my partner in crime.
No crimes today. This is a family show. There will be no crimes. You can have a partner, but no crimes. My guy is Cheeto. He's over there. And I don't know why I'm telling you all about Cheeto, but he's here in the attic. So why don't you go to his Instagram, which I never update. My guy Cheeto is his Instagram, and check out me on the Instagram, TommyD.NYC, ending the stigma together, and obviously the nonprofit sector connector. So listen, give us a little love on there. And I like that Instagram. It's a cool platform. People connect and things like that. I still can't figure out the messaging thing. So if you sent me a message on there, send me an email, TommyD@philanthropyandfocus.com. Somebody I was trying to connect the other day was like, oh, I want to reach out to your friend. I'm not going to mention who it is, but I want to reach out to your friend. And I sent her a message on Instagram. I said, dude, I don't know if that's the best method because I can't figure out how to find my messages on there. But I like to post pictures of the cool stuff going on in the world. So speaking of which, this week, right on my desk, I have the business card for the executive director of Long Island State Veterans Home. Shout out to Fred Skanga and the team. Shout out to this new hoodie I got. Just show you all that.
Beautiful.
It says on the back. What's it say on the back?
Caring for America's heroes.
Caring for America's heroes. And you know, I thought that, well, first of all, I really like this zip up hoodie and it's comfortable. But I thought since our conversation is going to go to our seniors and our elderly community and the people you're serving with your organization and the work you do, and they really like this hoodie and it's brand new, I thought I would wear that for the show. So that's what we're doing. Shout out to the Veterans Home and the team there. We were out there on Tuesday with my venture Philanthropy Network in New York. We did an arts and crafts event with some of the individuals out there. And then we went to see not a band, but a musician perform on Wednesday. It is Veterans Weekend. I just got a text message from my wife. My father-in-law is at my kid's school here in the neighborhood for Veterans Day. She just texted me a picture. They're in the parking lot and the whole an assembly outside because it is beautiful here on Long Island today. So shout out to all of our veterans. Veterans Day is Monday. And thank you for all you've done for us, for this country. And we certainly appreciate you. So much to be recognized there. There's a lot going on in the nonprofit sector. There's a lot of important things happen locally and nationally. We can get into some of that in the next coming weeks. Today, what I really want to do is learn about Danielle's organization, Nursing Home Warrior. Doesn't it sound like a movie, right? So let's, I don't really say this much on the show, but what a badass name for an organization, Nursing Home Warrior. Danielle, this show is about you. It's about the organization. Like I say, shout out to Mike Kelly, because if it wasn't for my buddy Mike, who I played golf with one day, and he's like, dude, we hung out. Like, it's so funny how it doesn't have to be golf. It could be dinner. A movie, not so much. If you go to a movie with somebody, you can't really talk so much. But an event where you can really get to know somebody, golf seems to lend itself to that. And Mike Kelly and I were playing golf, and it was the golf outing for cerebral palsy of Nassau County, and I was we had a really nice day, and Mike and I were talking, and he shared some stuff about his own life and things that he's gone through, and he says, by the way, you got to meet this woman I know, this woman Danielle, and you got to get her on your show. And when you have friends that are looking out for you, shout out to another friend of mine, Joel Meltzer. Well, in the last 24 hours, I've gotten 2 people reach out to me who run nonprofit organizations. They're like, Joel said we need to talk to you. So when you're the nonprofit sector connector, I guess these things kind of happen. So shout out to all my friends who are making the connections. One last pitch I want to make for everybody. If you are in New York or on Long Island, I am the MC of Philanthropy Day for the Association of Fundraising Professionals of Long Island. Next Friday morning, I will be doing a little bit of double duty because I have to do that, and then we do the show afterwards, so we get to do both. So what we can do today is I'm going to stop talking so much. I'm going to let my friend Danielle, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try the last name because we practiced and I forgot how to say it. Pagoulatos-Lieblin. Did I get it? Danielle Pagoulatos.
Perfect.
Just in case one name wasn't difficult enough, let's put a hyphen and give you 2 to work on, Tommy D. All right, Danielle, let's take it away. You and George, let's get into this. I want to know about you. I want to know about your background and what, as we talked about, and I talk about all the time, what drew you to this work. In your case, you founded an organization because you saw an opportunity and a need, and I want to hear about that. So please, where'd you grow up? What's your story? What's going on?
Okay, so I grew up on Long Island and I needed a job. I was a teenager. I needed to make money. So I decided that I was going to find the job that I'd make the most money at. And this gentleman, Jeff, that I was friends with at the time, he's like, come work in the kitchen in a nursing home. You'll make so much more money. I mean, back then, I think the Gap was paying like $3.55 an hour. And this job was like $8. So it was like a huge jump. So I was like, oh, absolutely. I mean, how hard is it to work pouring out juice, right?
But
So
the Gap had some great sweatshirts. I got to tell you, they had these really, I'm all about the sweatshirt, man. A little bit of leisure wear for Tommy D.
I'm giving you a sweatshirt. I'm sending you one of our sweatshirts.
You have wait. Are there nursing home warriors? Is there swag already?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna send it to you.
Don't get up and get it now. Not necessary right this second, but I would wear that proudly. I would.
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you as soon as we get off. I have it. I'm gonna send
All
it
right,
to you.
good. All right. I love that. All right, look. I wasn't
Okay.
asking. This is somehow it happens when you're Tommy D. People just want to give you stuff. So you go into the kitchen and you say, I'm going to make more than double what I'm making at the Gap. So what
And
happened?
I'm loving it. And I'm loving it. I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty cool work, right? I feel like I'm contributing to making somebody's life a little bit better. And then slowly, as I was working there, they were like, oh, can you go on the units? Can you get this? Can you fill the refrigerator with juice? Or can you make sure there's enough salt and pepper or whatever? So I started traveling up to the units and I was like, I love these people. These are my people. I'm like, these are the people I need to be with. How do I spend more time with the residents than in the kitchen?
Sure.
So I keep working in the nursing home and I'm enjoying it. But now I'm spending all my breaks upstairs talking to people. I'm going on my days off to visit the residents. I'm bringing them stuff. I'm loving them to death. And the dietitian walks through the kitchen and I'm like, oh, who's that? I'm like, oh, what is her job? What does she do? So as it turns out, the dietitian spends a lot of time with the residents on the units. And I decided that that was going to be where I'm going to spend my time. So I went to CW Post and I got a degree in nutrition and I've been there ever since.
Oh my gosh. So how about that, gang? You never know where an opportunity is going to come from. What was your friend? Shout out to Jeff. I don't even know if you know Jeff anymore, but Jeff.
I don't, Jeff Gordon, but I don't really know him anymore.
Whatever, Jeff Gordon, wherever you are in the universe.
Oh no, Jeff Foster. I even got his name wrong.
Forget it. I don't even know who Jeff Gordon is, but Jeff Foster, how you doing? Do you know him? I'm confused. Do you know how difficult it is to confuse me? It's not very difficult. So we got to try to stay on track, you and me. Stay in track, Tommy D. But seriously, like that.
Yeah,
so he makes that, and then your life takes this trajectory, and we're not even to the point where you end up seeing that you need to create this nonprofit.
I'm not even close to being there yet.
We're just right. So we're just at this point where like your life has changed and you go, I love hanging out with these people. I'll tell you, I got to be honest with you, just kind of like as if the show is professional. I'm going to make it very unprofessional all of a sudden. Like I'm just going to talk to you about what happened this week. I met some incredible people at Long Island Veterans Home who are now, I want to go back and visit and hang with these people, but I can't get enough of people. That's probably what it is too. But like, I don't want to mention any of his names, but I met this woman and she told me her secrets, told me how old she was, and she didn't want anybody to know. And she was great. I saw her 2 days in a row. And then, the guy who was this musician, the Como brothers, him and his brother Andrew, one guy was there, and he was doing Beatles songs, he was doing Buddy Holly songs, so it was great for intergenerational stuff, and people were just vibing out. It was such a good time, and I see so many opportunities, and I feel like in a lot of cases, this is just totally a paint everything with a big broad brush, but I feel like we don't, as a society, honor our seniors as much as I think we need to, and there's so much so much wealth of information and wisdom that people have, and we need to connect with the other generations, right? I'm sure that's part of why you were like, I dig this whole thing about getting extra orange juice, but like when you get to go upstairs to see the residents, that was like where you would totally vibe. And so tell me about that.
It was interesting because I noticed very early on that a lot of them didn't get many visitors. So when they can catch your ear and talk to you, they're going to talk. And, they're going to talk about what their life was prior to being in a nursing home, which I think a lot of people forget, right? They were going out to bars, they were going to restaurants, they were doing a lot of things that you and I do today. And now they're just not doing it anymore. They still want to talk about it. They still want to be part of it. So I was listening to stories and just being blown away at the amount of success some of these people had and the amount of courage that I found from them. The part that was interesting to me was now I'm looking at them and most of them are in a hospital gown, right? Not very cleaned up, looking a little bit dirty, a little disheveled. Even their wheelchairs were not so clean all the time. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I need to make a difference. I just don't know how I'm going to make this difference, but something's got to change. This isn't right. And I went to school to become a dietitian. It took a long time. And then I started working in nursing homes. And while I've been working in nursing homes, I was able to it was just even magnified more, right? These people are lying in their bed most of the day. They don't have any new clothing. They don't even have, I hate to say it, their toothbrushes are crap. Like you wouldn't even use their toothbrushes. They're so horrible. And I just needed to find a way to make their lives a little bit better. So I worked and I started a company about 5 years ago that was a huge failure. I mean, I don't know if I could have failed any worse than I did. Like, it was great. I mean, you talk about failure, it was me.
Let's celebrate that. I'm gonna pause the whole show. We're gonna celebrate failure. I dig it because you know what? Unfortunately, a lot of us are trained that failing is bad, but no, it isn't. Right? Celebrate that. And it wasn't even a little one. It was like,
oh no, it was huge. Like I'm still paying off debt, I think, for that failure. Like it was. I don't know if I could have done anything worse. Everything I did was wrong, but the meaning was that I wanted to help people advocate for their loved ones in nursing homes. But somebody who went to school to be a dietitian I'm not going to say all of us don't have business minds, but a lot of us are just not business savvy. Sure. So, and most of my connections were other dietitians. So I really was just it was horrible. It was just horrible. So I had to come up with something else, right? I wasn't giving up on my dream or my hopes to do something for these people, but I needed to recreate myself, take a step back and figure out how I could be utilized, what I can do best to help these people. And that's how we created Nursing Home Warrior. In fact, the way I created it was my son, whenever didn't want his clothes anymore, I work in a nursing home now, let me just put that out there, for owners who are probably the best owners I've ever worked for. So I started in nursing homes when I was 17. I am now 53. So that is a long time in nursing homes. And a lot of it has to do with the ownership, right? Who you work for, because it starts from the top. Leadership, how they make you feel, what they allow me to do for the residents, what they allow the staff to do for the residents. And the owners I work for now are undoubtedly the best owners I've ever worked for. That being said, some of our residents still look like they're homeless.
See, that's where you see an opportunity, right? You see an opportunity to help and make these folks have live with dignity and have what they need, right? You mentioned your son. He actually I was watching, we do a post before the show on LinkedIn, and there was a young man who started following me and sharing the post, and I realized it was your son. So you mentioned he
Oh.
said he was very influential. You started to say he was influential in the beginning of the organization too.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So yes, so he would be like, "Mom, there's this one specific resident that is just he has my heart." And my son's like, "Mom, just bring the clothes to him. Let him wear the clothes that I'm not wearing." And I was like, "Good idea." And then I said to my friend Paul, I just gave all these clothes to this gentleman." And he goes, "Danielle, I never even thought of that. People should donate clothes instead of giving them to a box where we don't know where they're going to go. We should donate clothes to you, and then you could give them to the residents at the nursing home." I said, "Paulie, this is it. We are going to start a charity. This is what we're going to do now." So Paulie and I sat together. Neither one of us knew anything, and I'm still not sure what I know about charities. Again, a lot of mistakes over the last past year. Paulie works for a equipment company, so him and I will be like, "What are we supposed to do now?" I'm not really sure what we're doing, but let's ask people who are smarter than us. So a lot of us making connections and meeting new people. And we came up with this charity called Nursing Home Warrior so that we can give people a little bit of, I don't know, making them feel a little bit more human, I would say,
I
is
love
really what we do.
We're gonna get into all this. We're gonna take a break in a second, but shout out to Paulie. I don't know. I feel like I know you, Paulie. I'm Tommy D. You sound like a guy I would know. But the thing about it is, funny for me is I know the people who have the answers. That the answers you might be looking for as somebody who is now recently in the nonprofit sector, recently, as you say, charity. Recently learning the ropes. I don't like to correct people, but there's an area of opportunity. You said we're not smart, we don't know these things. Well, no, you're super smart. You just know what you know, and you need other people who are smart in other areas. Like that's how I feel. Like I don't know a lot of things, but I know a lot of people, right? So there's
Right.
a story about Henry Ford, and I just told the story the other day. There's a story about Henry Ford and like the I don't know what you want to call them, like the smart people, the intellectuals of his day brought him in to, like, it wasn't a trial, but they wanted to question Henry Ford. And they started asking him all these questions, and he didn't know the answers to these questions. And these guys thought, maybe there was women there too, but they thought it was funny. Oh, look at Mr. Henry Ford, big time entrepreneur who doesn't know the answers. And he was like, "You people are ridiculous." I don't know if he said it that way, but he goes, "You people are ridiculous." He goes, "I have a phone in my office that I punch different buttons, and there's people on my team, and they have the answers to these questions that you're asking me. I don't need to know the answers to these questions because I have people around me who know the answers to these questions." So isn't that just what it's about?
Right.
It's about community, right? So like I call myself the nonprofit sector connector. I don't call myself the nonprofit know-it-all because I don't know most things, right? But I know people. Like when I was on the phone until 9:30 last night, talking to my friend Ken Serini and Associates right out here in Long Island, top-notch CPA firm. I was talking to Ken about a client we share in common and some things we're having and some opportunities with that client. But I know when there's questions that relate to that, I go to Ken. When there's questions that relate to nonprofit governance, we go to somebody like my friend David Goldstein from Sir Tillman Ballin, who runs the nonprofit charity practice over there. So this is the thing. This is my point. It's all about who we know. We don't have to know it all. In fact, nobody can know it all. I don't care who you are. So anyway, and I'm not trying to be a know-it-all, everybody. So stop saying, "Tommy, you sound like you know everything." We're going to take a quick break. Danielle and Tommy D, right back. We're going to learn more about nursing home warrior. Isn't that fun to do? Right back.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Brancu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to The Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
If you don't have your health, what do you really have? It's time to feel good in your body and shift from struggle to ease. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Tripp, your host of Nourish the Soul, where we explore the sacred wisdom of your body while you sit back, relax, and go on a journey of self-discovery. Join me every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to awaken your heart, transform your well-being, and unlock a deeper understanding of yourself.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift, educate, empower.
Nonprofits need connections to move in good directions. So cut through all the static. Join Tommy in his attic.
That's right, cut through the static. Join your boy in the attic. I opened the show by saying I'm 2 flights up from the attic. I don't even know where that would be, 2 flights up from the attic, man. But you know what? I was reading something this morning in the classified ads. Like, picture this, like I'm telling a story. So I was reading in the newspaper, in the classified ads this morning, and it said, nonprofit sector connector, and you scroll down and it says benefits of the nonprofit being the nonprofit sector connector. So I read this and it said you get hugs from people all the time and people want to give you hoodies. So I don't know, Danielle, I saw during the break Danielle, oh my goodness, what do you have there? Oh, that's nice. I love that one. Look at the big heart over the chimney. That's kind of like where the attic is, right next to the chimney. Look at that. Oh man, great logo. Who did your logo?
Her name is Danielle. I found her online on Instagram.
Shout out. Danielle or Danielle?
Daniela.
What up, Daniela? Nice job on the logo. Very cool. I love that hoodie. It's,
I'll be sending it to you.
well, with the brisk.
And Logan.
We got Logan's listening behind the scenes.
Logan's getting one too.
Logan, you're getting a hoodie. That's so good. See, it's good to stay close to the nonprofit sector connected. Good things happen. That's awesome. With the brisk weather right now, man, nothing better. Yeah. Logan, I love hoodies. No,
I love hoodies.
No kidding. Me too. So, all right. So let's get into this whole thing. You and Paulie, how long ago? Hey, Paulie, I got to do that all the time. Was Paulie like an Italian guy or what?
I don't actually know. No, I don't know.
But it just sounds like, all right. Anyway, like in Rocky. Paulie,
Like that.
let's do this. Let's find out.
He's a fisherman. Does that count?
I don't know. Does it? Text him. Paulie, text in. Let us know. It doesn't matter. It's just I'm acting out. I'm acting a fool right now. I'm trying to keep it together, Danielle. So, Danielle, when you sat down and said, all right, here's what it is. We got this opportunity. We want to give folks, with gently used clothing or other supplies that they, why is this even a problem? Like, is it that families aren't always around to bring different resources to their family member? Tell us about that. Like, let's establish a little bit about, like, if in your own words, like why you think this is an issue.
Okay, so sadly, many residents do not receive any visitors. We have some families that come every day, and then we have some families that come never. So the ones that come never, unfortunately, that means that they're not getting Christmas gifts, they're not getting birthday gifts, they're not getting Hanukkah gifts. They're not even getting a card. They're also not getting anything new to wear. So, and no joke, I mean, like, sadly enough, it is true. I've seen year after year after year, the same residents wear the same 3 outfits week after week. The government does give them money. I believe it's $50 a month, but the truth be told, what are you buying with $50 a month? Besides, they get a haircut, they have to pay for the haircut. That's like $10. And if they go get a soda at the vending machine, that's $2. So they're going to end up with no money at the end of the month, right? The other part of it is, how are they going to purchase the stuff? They're not going to the store. They're not getting on a computer. So they don't even have like an opportunity to buy new clothing. So we decided that we were going to come up with this way to make them feel like they have something that would, I don't know, make them feel a little bit more human. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but I know that the owner of my facility gave me a bunch of jackets. Like he was heavier at one point, so he had a lot of jackets to wear, like suit jackets. And I had given it to a resident. I usually don't give it to the nursing home I work at. We've given to about 100 nursing homes at this point, and we've probably given out close to 5,000 pieces of clothing.
Whoa.
So,
Time out. Flag on the play. We don't get to, when we bring statistics up like that, we don't get to brush over that. How long has this organization been around?
a year.
12 months,
Yeah.
365 days,
Yes.
100 different nursing homes, 5,000 different pieces of clothing.
Yes, because we use a medium-sized box from Home Depot, and we just pack it.
So, okay, so there's a guy who I know through Rotary. I'm a member, although not a good member because I'm so busy. I don't always show up for the North Gold Coast Rotary meetings. But there's a guy who runs a nonprofit called the Gramach, and I don't know if I did a good job with my Hebrew accent there, but and they have clothing, and maybe there's a connection here, and
I
that's
would
what
love that.
right, we're gonna talk about that because that's what a nonprofit sector connector does, and you get free hoodies. But that to me is, you know, unbelievable. Not like it's I can believe it because it happened, but it's one of these things that's like 5,000 pieces of clothing. How do you look at what your role as an organization is? Are you the collector and then the distributor? Is that how you see, like, what is your mission as an organization, Danielle? Like when you go to the world and you say, because most of my friends who come on this show, by the way, shout out to Kim K. I'm going to see her band next week. She was on the show last week talking about grants. She's from McBride. And like when you're out telling your story, because we all want to fundraise, we need money to run our organizations. What story, how do you tell this story and what you're trying to accomplish?
I don't really know how to tell a story. That's what I'm struggling with. I know my story. I just don't know how to get it across to people where I could start making money so we can do this on a higher level. Right now, we are, I go on Facebook, I go on social media, I'm asking, I'm telling people what we're doing, asking for donations. I was very fortunate. Mike Kelly is extremely generous to my charity. Sends me money all the time to purchase things, sends me boxes of clothing for residents that are brand new. He doesn't ever give me anything donated. Everything is new. There's a couple of people who are just very good to us. And it's important for me to let people know that anything that they can give us for the residents, anything, even if it's a pair of, I don't know, pajamas from Five Below that are $5, that is going to make somebody's life nicer.
Yeah, I love that. I
It's,
love that.
I mean, it doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be a lot. But these people, unfortunately, like I said, they don't have a lot of money to buy or the opportunity to purchase new clothes. And they don't have family who are coming to visit them and buying them for them. So literally, here they are alone. I mean, they are alone. They have activities and everything is great, but they're sitting in a wheelchair, right? Just sitting there. Giving them a jacket or and not a winter jacket, but like a blazer, something to make them feel like they used to feel, really just changes who they are. It changes their spirit, changes their emotion, brings them a little bit of happiness. It's just, you can see the difference on them when they're wearing. Look, it's just like when you wear a new pair of sneakers, right? You kind of feel like you run a little bit faster. You wear a new dress, you feel a little sexier. It's the same thing for them.
Yeah, I think what keeps, as I'm listening to you, what's coming up for me is like what I said earlier, like our connection to folks. You know, I think in my own family at times. I mentioned my father-in-law was at my son's school. Might be still there at this point. It's only been a half hour since I said that. But for Veterans Day, and you know, not all of our seniors stay home with families. Some go into, you know, these nursing homes or assisted living and different things like that. And I'm just like, even being with so many of the veterans the other day and spouses of veterans out here on Long Island, like I was saying, I'm touched by the work you're doing. It's so special and so important. Yeah. How many? So if you were able to serve, you said 100 different nursing homes. How many? I mean, I have no idea. So and maybe you don't know the number either. But like, is that just Long Island that you're taking? Like now, so
No,
Where
So
are you
we're
going?
working on Long Island. We're trying to get as many done in Long Island as we can because obviously this is where my home base is. But we've already delivered to Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens. I would like to get to Manhattan. I think that that's going to be a little bit challenging with the parking because I'm doing all this myself with Paulie. Like Paulie's great and he's supplying the boxes for me and we're packing them and he's taping them up, but I'm sticking them in my car and I'm driving there and I'm literally delivering them. So
Do
the
they know you?
parking in Manhattan might be a little bit more challenging.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
again,
what?
no, I was going to ask you this, but I think I have an answer for the parking in Manhattan thing. But so do the folks know you're coming? Like you've called ahead of time, they know you're bringing boxes of clothes?
No. So what happened was when we first started doing this, I was calling these nursing homes and saying, "Do you need clothing?" And a lot of people were not calling me back. And that's just what happens in nursing homes. People don't call you back unless they absolutely have to. So we decided that that wasn't working out very well. So what I do now is I drop them off. I drop it off with a note that we created that says, "Congratulations, you just received a Silver Threads cozy box." Silver Threads is the name of the project because Nursing Home Warrior does other things, but this is Silver Thread Project Silver Threads. You just received a cozy box, and we let them know what's that it's for their residents who not only don't have clothes but who would like something new. And if they need another box, to please reach out to us.
So there's all right, how many folks or how many organizations do call you back and say thank you so much? Can you send out some more?
Not that many. Honestly, I probably 6.
Okay. So so this is, first of all, you're doing a great job. You're a volunteer army of, it sounds like, 2. So you're very busy. The New York City thing, I wonder if, like, if you had a bunch of boxes and we rented a U-Haul and we drove them into New York City and I drop you in the box off and then I drive around in the U-Haul and like, okay, you done? All right, now I pick you up and then we'd go to another.
That would be fantastic.
So
That would be amazing.
I would do that for many reasons, but one of them is it's really fun.
Thank you. That would be amazing. But well, my son goes to school in Pennsylvania, so every time I go to visit him, I drop off boxes in Pennsylvania along my way.
Oh, yeah.
My son's in Crew. We just were in New Jersey, so we had 5 boxes we put together. And before I met him at the river, I dropped off 5 boxes.
Yeah.
So I try to, wherever I'm traveling to. We were in Philadelphia. I dropped off 6 boxes. Like wherever I'm going to, I try to drop off boxes there to those nursing homes.
I love that. And shout out to your son on Crew. I mean, those kids are in great shape. That's a great, none of my children are on Crew, but that's a great sport, right? Like
It's a great sport.
And
They're
so
good kids.
yeah, I mean, we're not too far. Actually, there's a body of water that separates where you are and I am. And sometimes I'll go to the beach in the morning to just like mellow out because you could tell sometimes even Tommy D needs to just like namaste, mellow out a little bit. So I like to namaste in the attic most of the time. But what I do, even I can't keep a straight face on half of this stuff, gang. So I like to go up to this beach over by us, and I see sometimes the Crew people going like with got like the long boat. What do they
I
call it?
love it.
Not a
Beautiful.
what do they call it? Is it canoe? I mean, it's not a canoe, right?
No, I don't even know. Oh, it is called something, and I can't think of what it's called.
But and they're like those kids are like working hard. That's tough, man. All that upper body strength going. So but shout out to you on just like having that connection with your son where he's paying attention to what you're doing. I can
100%.
tell you, yeah, like I could tell you just from raising 4 children, or I'm in the process of it, man. Not done with it by any means. And they really dig when we go out and do volunteer days of service. My youngest guy, he's 9 now, but I mean, I've been running around doing this for like 4 or 5 years. So he would say, "Hey, Dad, when are we doing the next day of service?" Like you got a 6-year-old kid asking you, like, when are you going to do the next day? Kind of make
It's a blessing.
yeah. I mean, kind of figuring something out,
It's a blessing.
It is. We got to go to a quick break, and I want to hear more about it. But you know what? Sometimes on this show, Danielle, I have organizations that are 40, 50, $60 million organizations, right? Other times on this, I have organizations with very small budgets. And here's the thing, though. Every one of them is changing the world. So the thing about it is what's important for me is for you to just know you're doing great work, keep doing the great work, right? And leverage people like me and my connections and my relationships so you can learn from others, and that's it. And you're doing great work, and I want to keep you watching you do it and help in any way I can. The other thing I want to mention, I said we're going to take a break, but it is my show and I'm going to do it my way. So here's the deal. A guy named Lonnie Sherman runs a nonprofit full volunteer organization called General Needs. and all the gear. They have about 7 storage units. I'm not going to tell everybody where it is, but here on Long Island, 7 storage units that, like, basically it's like going into a store. You know, you have large hoodies over here, extra large hoodies over here, towel sets over here, and they hook up veterans. So there might be things in your relationships, if there's veterans, and I'm sure there are some veterans, maybe in the nursing homes that you're working with,
Yeah.
right? There's an opportunity. So we have 2 opportunities. Guys, I know it's a live show, but this is what goes on when you're the nonprofit sector connector. It happens in real time. So we're going to talk more about that when we come back, just about the organization, the work you're doing. But I want to make sure we get to Lonnie and his team. Shout out to Lonnie. What a special organization that is. And you're doing incredible work, Danielle. So there's so many opportunities to connect and learn from. We're going to take a quick break, gang. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host the program Philanthropy and Phocus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Were you an essential worker during the pandemic? If you needed to learn stages of epilepsy, did you depend on advocates? Did you use new innovations to cope with mental and neurological issues? Maintaining high quality of life and keeping good mental health are what we all strive for. I'm Frank R. Harrison, host of Frank About Health, and each week top healthcare influencers, professionals, and innovators answer these questions and more. Stay tuned on Thursdays at 5 p.m. on talkradio.nyc, and I will continue to be frank about health with all of you.
Hi, I'm Linda Marcanico. The A Train to Sedona is a memoir about my journey to love and compassion. It's also the name of my new broadcast on Wednesdays at 12 noon. When we are spiritual, we embrace possibilities and ideas, which strengthen our mind, body, spirit, health, and wisdom. On the A Train to Sedona broadcast, I plan to interview guests who embrace these expansive practices. Join us on Wednesdays at 12 noon on Talk Radio New York City.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Nonprofits need connections to move in good directions. So cut through all the static. Join Tommy in his attic.
Join Tommy in his attic. Yes, do that. Do what we said. Do what Brendan and I wrote many years ago. Those are the lyrics. That's what the show's all about. I just got a text message, and it was somebody asking me to do something, and it says, fun fact, there are 1,440 minutes in a day. How about dedicating a few minutes to support fill in the blanks of this text message I have? But for 1,440 minutes every single day. It's an opportunity, gang, right? We never get them back. You know, there's that story about how many seconds are in a day. We'll never get those back, right? I had a t-shirt on yesterday from the League of Yes, my friend Christine Fitzpatrick, which she's an incredible woman. She runs this baseball league for people of all abilities, and they're in Eisenhower Park, and they have another location out in Suffolk County. And I had this t-shirt on yesterday, and it just says, what good have you done today? So challenge yourself. You having a day, you're feeling a little blue, you feel a little melancholy. What have you done for other people? Get up, try to do something, try to help other people. I will tell you, it makes me feel better all the time. And I guess I'm a human being, so you guys are too. So I guess it would probably help you too. So when you're a little funky, a little cranky, go help somebody else out, make somebody else smile. And I think it'll improve your day. And apparently you have 1,440 minutes every day to do it, you know, and when you only sleep 3-4 hours like me, that's a lot of minutes you got. Danielle, welcome back. So let's just, like, when you see into the future, right? And you see what this organization can do, what is it, when do you say, that's what I was trying to do all those years ago when I was on that show with Tommy D and he was being silly and zany? Like, those are the things that I wanted to accomplish. What does it look like? Give me your vision, like project in the future.
So Nursing Home Warrior, it will be having satellite. I'd love to have satellite places like where it pops up, the Silver Threads, the Project Silver Threads, where people are answering the needs of the residents right then and there in their own hometown, in their own state, or something like that. The other part of it, which is extremely dear to me, is advocating for residents in nursing homes. What I've learned is that a lot of people don't know how to advocate. And I hear every day when a resident's family comes into the nursing home and says, "How's my dad today?" And the nurse goes, "They're fine."
And that's it. That's the whole conversation.
I'm like, okay. Okay. Like, I would love to get a platform together where I can teach people exactly what's going on. I am not talking about my nursing home where I'm at right now. I want to be very clear about that. But I have been fired from jobs because I was too vocal. Because I would say, you don't say that. You don't ask somebody how your father is. You say, how did my father eat today? Did he get out of bed? Did he go to activities? Did my dad poop? Did he have blood work done? Did he feed himself or did someone feed him? What was his pain like? Did he take his medications? Like, specific questions. I would love for people to understand that not all nursing homes are created equal. Again, I believe it comes from leadership and ownership and who they hire. There's a lot of cover-ups in nursing homes. A lot of people, we change what it says in the record. We don't tell the family the truth. Again, you have good ownership, that does not happen. But people need to know what actually goes on, right? So your family member falls and they'll call you in the middle of the night and say, "I just want to let you know that your mom fell out of bed last night. She might have hit her head. We're sending her to the hospital. She'll come back and we'll let you know how it is." Okay, that's great. But why did my mom fall out of bed would be the next question.
Right.
Was she trying to go to the bathroom? Was she upset? Was she in pain? Was my mom hungry? Was my mom confused? Like, there's a whole host of questions you need to ask after that.
Right.
And we don't give you that in nursing homes, but I want to teach you what to ask so that you do know the answer. Because if it's because she had to go to the bathroom, let's talk about toileting her. Maybe she has a urinary tract infection, right? Maybe there's something else going on with her. A lot of nursing homes just do the basics. We have to call you and let you know something happened. But there's so much more behind that.
So interesting, because when you think in terms of what we call the sandwich generation, right? So people in our age bracket, let's say even, younger than you and I and older than you and I, probably. Like, I have a friend of mine who's almost 70 and he's in the sandwich generation because he's got parents that are in their 90s, right? And he's got kids and he's got grandkids. So that's even like a bigger sandwich. That's like the old Dagwood sandwich, like in the big sandwich. What's that?
It's a club sandwich. It's a club sandwich.
I love it. I love a club sandwich. I'd like to have a club sandwich later today. Maybe I can meet you for a club sandwich. I can get my hoodie. So here's the thing. The thing about it is people
and Logan's.
And Logan's, and I'll ship it to you, Logan. You'll get it. Here's the thing about it. I don't think people are disinterested. They don't know what to do in this scenario. So I think and correct me if I'm wrong.
Don't know what to
right?
do.
They don't, but I think it's an opportunity where you can maybe come up with a list of, like, let's say one of my parents was in a nursing home and I have 4 children. I have several businesses. I do a weekly radio show called Philanthropy and Phocus where I interview nonprofit executive leaders. That's this show, right? And I do a whole bunch of other things. So if I might not, as an individual who has no clinical background, I might not be as astute to ask specific leading questions of the witness, but like leading questions and getting those second and third level questions as to what it is, right? Because I don't know, I don't have that paradigm. I'm not in that paradigm, and I'm busy with 900 other things. So what if, right, Nursing Home Warrior created, what could I say? A template, a talk track, as we say in sales, right? A top 10 questions I, as a family member and or spouse or child or adult child, whatever. Like, what about that? What have you thought about that?
I love that idea. And in fact, we are trying to do just that when we finish doing our our website, which is definitely taking way longer than it should. But again, we have no money, so we cannot actually pay someone to do that. And I'm trying to do it on my own. My son's trying to help me, but it's not as easy as it looks.
No. Well,
So
I've never made a website myself. I have had people do it for us. I have an idea about that. We'll take it offline. Well, I'll just wink at you. Shout out to the Spirit of Huntington Arts Center. That's what I'm talking about. But we'll talk about that. I'm on the board there. And I think we talked about it the other day. So let's talk about that. That's something to talk about down the road. But maybe there's some opportunity there. But you would talk about the website. On the website, that's something you'd want to host and feature on there, it sounds like, too.
yes, I mean, on the website, I definitely want that. Other things like something as basic as someone will say in a meeting, again, not just where I am now, but just in general, they'll be like, my mom didn't get a shower today, and she was told she could only get showers on Tuesdays and Fridays. Well, the Department of Health says we have to offer them a shower twice a week. It doesn't have to be on Tuesday and Fridays. And it doesn't have to be twice a week. It could be 4 times a week. It could be 5 times a week. Right. But people don't know that. And I want people to understand that, if they're scheduled to have a shower at 3 in the afternoon, right? I wouldn't want one at 3 in the afternoon.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I'm never going to have one. It means that the nursing home is going to need to fix the time to accommodate my needs, because that is our job. That is their home. Yeah. It is up to us who work in the nursing home to accommodate the resident, right? They want to get up late. I got to figure out how to get them food hot when they get up late. They want to take a shower at, 5 times a week. I got to figure that out. But people just don't know basic stuff that I really, 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 really want to teach them.
Well, I think so, but look, there's 2 pieces to this, and then we're going to take a break. But I'm hearing 2 pieces. I'm hearing the piece of the advocate, the family member, whoever it may be, the spouse, right, not knowing. But I also hear a little bit of inflexibility on the part of the institution. That I'm assuming there's got to be rules and regulations and there's reasons and blah blah blah. But again, if the resident, blah blah blah, right? We both did the same thing. We did the chicken dance. Na 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 cha 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 cha. He's doing the chicken dance, and it's like an opportunity where if the resident is our client and we think of it from a client service perspective, I think, and we think of it from a compassion perspective and serving the people, I think it's handled differently. But I think that goes to your thing earlier, top down from leadership. And if leadership has the mindset of world-class service and compassion and being flexible, that's a different model than, hey, it is what it is, man. You get a shower on Tuesday and Friday. If you miss that,
100%.
It'll be on Tuesday,
It's all about ownership. It's 100% about ownership, and then putting those key players in place to make sure it trickles down to the people who are actually taking care of the resident.
This is what you get the mug right now. No big deal, just changing the world, because you are just changing the world, and that's my cute little thing. No big deal. Of course,
I would like to.
You are.
I don't need to change the world. I just want to make this place, these nursing homes, better for these people. There's just so much room for. There's just so much room for improvement.
And good on you for leaning in, taking care of it, because you're changing the world. You are. Don't say you're not. You are. We're taking a break. I'm taking a break so you can't say you're not. We'll be right back.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Brancu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to The Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host the program Philanthropy and Phocus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour Awakening Humanity, Thursdays 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Nonprofits need connections to move in good directions. So cut through all the static. Join Tommy in his attic.
So the Long Island Imagine Awards applications are available right now. Go to, let me get the actually website for you, but it is, I believe it's liimaginawards.com. And it is, let's see. So these applications are usually due back in right before the Thanksgiving holiday. And then we as the group will review the applications, and the judges will get an opportunity to meet and discuss those applications shortly after. So everybody should be aware of the Long Island Imagine Awards, because it's critically important that specifically here on Long Island and in New York City that folks get involved. I mean, we usually get about 300 applications, 350 applications here on Long Island, and roughly the same in the New York City Imagine Awards. So I want you to go to imagineawardsli.com, imagineawardsli.com. So check that out. If you have any questions and you want to know more about it, you can always send me an email, tommyd@philanthropyandfocus.com. And also, I could always connect you with my friend Kelly Ann Serini, who does all the marketing for Serini and Associates and the Long Island Imagine Awards. Danielle, we'll talk about that. You should be connected to the Imagine Awards and all our friends over there for sure. All right, Danielle. Let's break it down for people. What do you like as you think about this, right? This is kind of like the final moments of the show. As you think about this, like, what do you need? Like, I know you're a small organization, and some of the things you might need, you might not even know you need just yet. But I'm curious about are you looking for board members? Obviously, you're looking for funding. We talked about the website. Are there other things specific? Because here's what I was thinking too. I was wondering, it's great that some of what happens here is gently used clothes. And our friend Mike Kelly, love you, by the way, Mike Kelly.
So do I.
I know you do. That's why we're here. This doesn't happen without Mike Kelly making the connection. Mike is giving and donating rather new clothes. So
yes.
Have you thought about, creating some kind of wish list and maybe bringing that to I don't know, manufacturers of clothes or stores or different things like that? What are your thoughts about what?
Yes. So that's actually that is on our to-do list for come January, is to start reaching out to the Gap or like Target, Walmart, and seeing what they have and what they can give us. Because while gently don't use clothing is great, and it is, and I make sure that they're clean and that they have no stains and all that stuff, it's still nice to get something new with a tag on it.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is our goal.
I don't know if you know.
So we're trying to do two things here. We're trying to get new clothes. We're trying to deliver the clothes, and we're trying to teach people how to advocate for their loved ones while they're in a nursing home. Because again, to me, that is a huge piece of this.
So I see two programs. If we were going to have a chit chat about nonprofit, you have this program called, we distribute clothes to people who need it, and other things like, toothbrushes or different toiletries that maybe people need. And then this other thing is we have this training program on how to teach people how to advocate for their family members, but also
right.
We I think we're letting some of these residents off the hook a little bit, but they got to self-advocate. We all have to self-advocate for, just because you're in a nursing home doesn't mean you've lost all facilities that you can ask for things yourself, right? I mean, it might not be the easiest thing, but you can, right?
They can, but I will tell you what I hear from families a lot, and a lot from the residents. again, I've been doing this a long time. This is a theme that goes on forever, is that they're afraid of retaliation.
That's terrible. That's a terrible thing. That's something that somebody has to be.
It's horrible. And we try to tell them all the time that nothing bad's going to happen to you if you have a problem with a specific person, or if you're not happy with the food. I mean, people will say to me all the time, I don't want to send it back. I go, please send it back. I could get you a whole kitchen full of food. What do you want? No, I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to bother anybody. I mean, maybe it's also their generation that they don't want to be a bother. I don't know. But a lot of people do not want to make waves. And you could see the difference between the residents that don't want to make waves and the residents that do. The ones who are very loud, they usually get what they want.
Yeah.
And the other ones just sit by. It's very sad. Yeah. Families, how to advocate, what to look for, what questions to ask. People contact me all the time from usually the tri-state area, saying, Danielle, I have someone in a nursing home. This is what's going on. What am I supposed to do? And a lot of the times the problem is that they're not telling the right person their problem in the nursing home. Like if one of my friends tells me room 220 isn't happy with the food, and I go in and talk to 220, and then 220 says to me, well, I don't like the way that person spoke to me. Unless I go above me and tell somebody more important, that's never going to get changed, right? But they're telling the person, they're not telling the right people. So I actually, and I'm not afraid to say it, I mean, I'm not really always well loved in a nursing home. I'm not there to make friends. I mean, I love a lot of people I work with. I have great coworkers, but really they're not my friends. I'm there to take care of the residents. A lot of people don't see it like that.
Yeah.
And they cover for each other. And it will make a huge difference if we start opening our mouths and telling people that they can't speak to residents a certain way, or they can't make a resident feel like they can't ask for things.
Yeah.
And far too many times we don't do that.
Well, you didn't name your organization or your alter ego, nursing home. Hey, can you please help me out? You named it Nursing Home Warrior, which means you're badass and you're going to fight and advocate on behalf of these people. Let's be honest, you're a freaking warrior, right? Like that's what it is. So when you think in terms of what a warrior does, warrior's like, hey man, let's make friends. Let me cover for you. No. We're here. Our mission as warriors is to protect and serve these individuals, right? And that's
100%.
that. These individuals are in your care, right? Isn't that what it is? So my mom or dad, if they were in a nursing home, I'm putting them in your care. I'm expecting certain things that you're going to take care of my loved one, right? And I applaud you. We're out of time. I applaud you and your badassery for just working and warrioring. I don't think that's a word, but fighting on behalf of these people and
thank you.
They're taken care of.
Thank you so much for having me, Tommy D. Thank you.
I appreciate you. I'm glad we're friends. And listen, gang, keep connecting with me. Let's make the world a better place together by highlighting the important work nonprofit organizations are doing. If you are near Long Island, reach out to me because next week is AFPLI, Association for Fundraising Professionals of Long Island, where I'll be interviewing 4 Long Island leaders around philanthropy, the future of philanthropy, and how it relates to AI, which I know very little about. So that's why I'm going to be asking the questions, not answering them. Danielle, thanks for being here. Logan, thanks for all your hard work. Make it a great day, everybody. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Nonprofits need connections to move in good